Welcome back, everybody. Today's deep dive is going to be, it was kind of mind-blowing for me at least. We're looking at a study from Harvard that compares AI tutoring to active learning in a physics class. And the results were pretty wild.
They really were.
Yeah.
The AI tutor students learned like way more, twice as much.
More than twice.
Yeah, more than twice as much in less time than the active learning students.
I know. It's crazy, right? Especially because the active learning setup in this study was like top-notch. I mean, they had great instructors using proven methods. It wasn't some watered-down version.
No, not at all. They really set a high bar. And this AI tutor still managed to just blow past it.
So tell me more about this AI tutor. They called it PS2 Pal, right? What made it so special?
Well, it was built on GPT-4 technology.
Okay, so cutting-edge AI.
Yes, but it wasn't just about the tech. It was really about the design. They integrated all these best practices in education, like active learning prompts to keep students engaged.
So it wasn't just passively feeding them information?
No, not at all. It was very interactive. And they designed it to manage cognitive load. So breaking down complex problems into smaller steps. So it wouldn't overwhelm the students.
Right, make it more digestible.
Exactly. And they even built in encouragement to foster a growth mindset.
Like a little virtual cheerleader?
Yeah, kind of. But one thing they were really careful about was avoiding those AI hallucinations, where the AI makes stuff up.
Oh, yeah, that's a big concern these days.
Right. So to prevent that, they actually gave the AI incredibly detailed solutions for every problem, like step by step.
So they basically trained it to think like a human tutor walking you through each step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That way the information was always accurate and reliable.
Makes sense. Now, about the study itself, they had almost 200 Harvard undergrads in this big intro physics class.
Yeah. It was a pretty sizable study.
And they used this thing called a crossover design. I have to admit, I had to look that one up. Can you explain it?
Sure. So basically, every student experienced both the AI tutor and the active learning lesson.
So it wasn't like they were comparing two separate groups of students.
Right. It was more about how each learning method affected the same individual.
So a much more direct comparison.
Exactly. And the results, well, you already spoiled the big one. The AI tutor students did way better on the post-tests.
Dramatically better. But here's what I found fascinating. The amount of time students spent with the AI tutor didn't seem to matter.
Yeah, that was interesting. It suggests that the AI allowed students to learn at their own pace.
So some students might have breezed through it while others took more time, but they still learned a lot.
Exactly. The AI adapted to their individual needs.
That's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah.
And they also looked at how students felt about the experience, not just their scores.
Yeah, and the AI tutor students reported feeling more engaged and motivated.
Really?
Yeah, they were more into it, more driven to learn.
So they're learning more, they're doing it faster, and they're enjoying it more. This AI tutor sounds pretty amazing.
It does right. But it's important to note that both groups, the AI tutor students and the active learning students, they had similar levels of enjoyment and growth mindset.
So both approaches had their positives.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've established this AI tutor is pretty darn impressive. But what are the practical implications of all this? Where do we go from here?
Well, the researchers suggest AI tutors like this could revolutionize education.
Yeah.
Personalized world-class learning for anyone with an internet connection.
Wow, that's a big claim.
It is. But think about it. No matter where you live, no matter your background, you could have access to this incredible learning tool.
Like having a private tutor in your pocket.
Exactly. But of course, we need to be thoughtful about how we integrate AI into education. It's not about replacing teachers.
Right. You can't just throw technology at the problem and call it a day.
It's about using AI to enhance teaching and learning to create a more personalized and engaging experience.
So AI working alongside teachers, not instead of them.
Precisely. The researchers even suggested using AI for the initial introduction of concepts.
So then class time could be used for more interactive stuff, discussions projects.
Exactly. Freeing up teachers to do what they do best. Guide and mentor and inspire.
Wow. This is really making me rethink the possibilities of education. What was your initial reaction when you first saw this study?
Honestly, I was blown away. The potential is just enormous.
Yeah.
But we also need to be cautious. Make sure we're using AI responsibly and ethically.
Absolutely. It's a powerful tool, but we need to make sure it's serving the best interests of learners.
I completely agree. You know what really impressed me? The researchers, they really put in the work to make sure this AI tutor wasn't just some quick tech fix.
Oh yeah, they were super thorough.
They knew that even with the best AI, there's always that risk of...
hallucinations.
Yeah, exactly. Where the AI just spits out wrong information.
It's like garbage in, garbage out, right? If the AI is trained on bad data, it's going to give bad results.
That's why they were so hands-on. They crafted every question, every prompt, and even gave the AI detailed step-by-step solutions for every problem.
So they were basically showing the AI how to be a good tutor.
Exactly. And it worked. Remember that stat we talked about?
The one where 83% of the students said the AI tutor was as good or better than a human instructor.
Yep. Pretty amazing, huh?
Makes you wonder, though, if the AI is explaining things so well, what does that mean for teachers? Do they even still have a role?
That's the big question.
Right.
But I don't think it's about replacing teachers. I think it's about changing what they do.
Okay, so if the AI is doing the teaching, what are teachers doing? Just sitting around.
No way. This is where things get really exciting. Teachers can focus on the stuff that AI can't do.
Like all those human skills, critical thinking, creativity, problem solving.
Exactly. The stuff that's really valuable in the real world.
So the AI is kind of like handling the basics.
Yeah. And then teachers can take it to the next level with discussions and projects and all that.
So it's not AI versus teachers, it's AI working with teachers.
That's the idea. And think about it this way. It's kind of like how we use technology in other fields.
Yeah.
You know, like a surgeon using a robot for surgery. It doesn't replace the surgeon. It just helps them do their job better.
Right. It gives them new tools and capabilities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe AI can be that for teachers. You know, a tool that empowers them to be even more effective.
I like that. But let's be real. There are always going to be challenges with new technology.
Oh, for sure. We can't just assume AI will fix everything in education.
What are some of the downsides we need to be thinking about?
Well, one thing is we're still early in the game with AI in education. You know, there are a lot of unknowns.
So we need to be cautious, not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, and we need to be really careful about how we design and use these AI systems. You know, making sure they're ethical and equitable and all that.
Absolutely. AI is a powerful tool, but we need to make sure it's used for good.
I couldn't agree more.
This has been so interesting. What are your big takeaways from all this?
Well, for me, the biggest thing is that AI can be this amazing tool for learning. But it's not about getting rid of teachers. It's about helping them do their job even better.
Yeah, that's a really important point. And it makes me think about what this could mean for the future of education.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
You know, it's funny. We've talked about personalized learning and how AI can make teachers more effective. But I keep coming back to this question of, like, what does all this mean for the future of education as a whole? You know, the big picture.
Yeah, it's like, are we even going to recognize education in 10 or 20 years? Will it still look anything like it does today?
Right now we have classrooms and lectures and tests.
The whole system has been pretty much the same for centuries.
But what if AI changes all that?
What if learning becomes this totally personalized, lifelong thing?
You learn what you want when you want at your own pace.
With AI as your guide every step of the way?
Like education on demand.
Exactly. You decide you want to learn a new skill or dive into a new subject, and boom, you've got your own AI tutor ready to go.
Okay, now that's a future I can get behind. But it does make you wonder about the human side of things, right? Can AI really replace the social and emotional aspects of learning? You know, the connections you make in a classroom?
That's a really good point. And honestly, I don't think AI should replace that. But it could definitely complement it.
So maybe we'll see a kind of hybrid approach emerge.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely scenario. AI can handle the knowledge transfer, the basic instruction.
And teachers can focus on things like collaboration and communication and critical thinking.
All those essential human skills that AI can't quite replicate.
Right. And maybe AI can even help us bridge the gap between education and the real world.
Oh, yeah. What if AI tutors could help you develop the specific skills you need for a particular job?
Or connect you with mentors and experts in your field.
AI could make that transition from school to career so much smoother.
I'm starting to see how this is about so much more than just improving test scores.
It's about empowering people to learn and grow throughout their lives.
And to contribute to society in meaningful ways.
Exactly. It's about unlocking human potential.
It's a powerful vision, and honestly, a little scary too.
Yeah, change can be intimidating, but I think it's also incredibly exciting.
We're on the cusp of something truly transformative in education, and the study we've been talking about, it really highlights that.
It shows us what's possible, and it challenges us to think bigger about the future of learning.
Well, this has been a truly mind-bending deep dive, I have to say.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
From the nitty-gritty details of the study to these huge philosophical questions.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. I'm feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension about the future of education.
I think that's a healthy response. It's a lot to process.
But I'm mostly optimistic. I think AI has the potential to make learning more accessible, more engaging, and more effective for everyone.
I agree. And I think that's something worth striving for.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I want to thank you for joining me on this deep dive. It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
The pleasure was all mine. Thanks for having me.
And to all of you listening out there, keep those minds curious and keep asking those tough questions. The future of learning is in our hands, and it's going to be an amazing ride.